Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, which today concerns itself initially with tales of plucked turkeys who have subsequently recovered and required customised knitwear to cover their otherwise naked drumsticks and, may I say it, breasts. Do you remember that story in the past about the lady who plucked the turkey and the turkey came round? She thought the turkey was dead. She plucked the turkey. The turkey was merely in a coma. And it came round and started to run round the house, naked as a jaybird.
Oh, see, I don't believe that story.
I believe that story.
No, I think that's an urban legend.
No,
I know you've heard it, and I've heard it, and Janet's heard it, we've all heard it.
Don't be so combative. Don't be so combative, grumpy.
Right.
But I am telling you this because it's not a legend.
It is.
You see, you're so quick. Will you let me tell you why it's not a legend? Because
it's the same old story of the chicken getting its head cut off, God bless it, and it runs round the kitchen.
I've seen that.
Yes, of course you have. Everyone's seen it. You haven't.
The thing is,
It's like Lord Haw-Haw.
Will you stop? Lord Haw-Haw, I suppose you didn't believe he was alive either. He was a real person. And another thing, when a chicken gets its head cut off, and I know it's a horrible image for this time in the morning, it does not go quack, 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 quack. That's what a duck does. Duck. Yeah, but it doesn't squeak because the head is lying on the floor. And I myself, I have to say this, and I hope there are no children listening, and I know there may well be, because a lot of the children aren't at school today. So I'm not going to go any further with that. But what I'm saying to you is that I have seen this done. I have seen a headless chicken run around a room.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
I know you haven't.
How do you know I haven't?
I just know you haven't.
No, you just suspect that I haven't.
No, because you lived upstairs.
I am talking about in Donegal, where these things are commonplace, where these things happen on a daily basis. There was a time years ago when people lived closer to the soil than they live now.
You hadn't a back door.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, see, we hung our turkeys and our geese, or whatever they were, up on the back door.
Yes, I know that.
Isn't that right, Janet? And so did Janet. You hadn't got a back door.
Did I say anything about hanging anything up?
You're not familiar with fowl.
I know fowl. All I'm saying to you is that whilst I was a young lad spending time on a farm in Donegal, I've seen things that you never saw in your little two up, two down.
A lot went on in the kitchen down in that farmhouse, I can tell you.
Let me just tell you this.
Tell me about the strip.
Okay, I'll tell you about three things.
Tell me about the turkey.
Don't be so sarcastic. Won't you learn to believe in something? Believe in the two of you ganging up on me, Janet. She's as bad as you. All I'm saying to you is this. I have seen things that no white man should see. I have seen turkeys brought in and throttled in front of me because people down there didn't realise that they shouldn't do these things in front of children, right? And I have also seen this. I have seen a number of turkeys being plucked, and I have seen those turkeys being placed away in a place of safety. And I have also seen, on one occasion, one of those turkeys coming back from the dead.
No.
And running around.
No, you haven't.
I have.
Yeah, Janet says a load of nonsense.
I won't tolerate this.
And there's a call. And another thing too, just before you go. What's all this ham talk? Come on. Out with it. What's all this ham talk? Preparing a ham for Christmas?
That's private.
What's all that about?
You just watch yourself today.
Scoring? How do you score a ham? I heard all that. I overheard the conversation.
How do you score some dope?
I heard you and Janet talk about how do you prepare a ham.
Let me just explain to the listeners. Janet and I had a private conversation. I didn't realise you were privy to it.
I was standing at the bottom of the stairs.
Standing at the bottom of the stairs, eavesdropping.
Yes.
On people's conversations.
I couldn't help.
I'm talking to a young employee of this station.
Yes.
A person who's paid by the BBC.
Yes.
I'm talking to you in a private capacity about my plans for hams
at
Christmas.
Yes.
And you're standing behind a door listening.
Yes.
Like a common eavesdropper, like a common thief, like a common... There's no privacy left anymore. Yes. The presenter believes passionately in our institutions and in the democratic process itself, knowing in his water that without our daily participation in the day-to-day functioning of the governance of our province, that we will go back to the bad old days when some of our politicians had brains.
There's a man who was annoying me last night.
Tell me his name.
That's what I don't know. I was watching Stormont today.
That's the funniest thing I've heard all day. I was watching Stormont today. Are you completely insane? Have you no life? You watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
Why?
Just to see the guys
Standing there?
See what they do.
You know what they do? What they've always done. Stand there and make noise so little people will give them money. Anyway, go ahead.
No, there was a man on, and it's what he was doing was annoying me. And whoever he was, I don't know, but I wish he would stop doing it.
Tell me who he is.
I don't know. He was sitting beside Sammy Wilson when Sammy was.
Well, that's bad enough, isn't it?
You see,
yeah.
And Sammy was giving out.
Somebody's making jokes, was he?
And this man was sitting beside him.
What a sense of humour.
But he was sitting nodding at everything Sammy said.
Yes, man.
You know, yeah, here.
Hey, right, Sammy, right, that's right, Sammy. Yeah, you tell him, Sammy, you tell him. Tell the one about the fella with the blanket around him.
I wish you would stop it, whoever he is. I don't know who
Tell him
he
to
is.
stop nodding.
Stop nodding and stop agreeing with the man.
Just you know,
If you saw
say
him
no every
get him to
once in a
stand
while.
up and say it.
Uh-huh.
That's all.
That's
There were
all
very
right.
few people about it yesterday.
Well, you see, it's a strike. It's gridlock. Listen, a man has helpfully provided me with an itinerary for your last show. When do you think your last show will be?
Today
Today? Is this your last show today?
is the end of November, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've
You
given
finished now?
I've given the BBC until the end of November.
That's now. That's today. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest are 31 except February, which sometimes is 29. Right. Here's the
You see, if you see two, what do you call those
bald
things?
people.
No. What do
Mhm.
you call those other things that fly?
Birds.
Magpies.
Yes.
If you see two magpies in your back garden,
Yes.
say, no, you're washing the dishes before you leave to go
Yes.
to work, right?
Don't call this work, please. I've
Right.
told you about this before.
And then when you're going out of your front door,
Yes.
there's another magpie sitting in front of the house.
What does that mean?
Is he part of the two?
He's the bag man.
Is that three magpie?
Yeah. Pies.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it is. Two in the back and one in the front. That's three.
That's all right then.
Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, I suggest the programme for your last show. 10:30, show starts. The fat boy exits stage left after some gentle ribbing from Jerry. 10:31. Jerry plays an 11:15 song as an opener. Sean mentions something he dislikes. Could be an opener, TV, book, celebrity. 10:34. Jerry gives out phone number and email address. Mentions that email is now working. Briefly mentions Ken in a derogatory fashion. 10:35. Sean does a Chris Moyles for 15 minutes on his penultimate day on the show. 10:50. Jerry introduces the show, having done so already. 10:55. A caller rings in saying they have found a record of achievement, but lost their dog in doing so. 11. 30 minutes into the show and still no callers to persuade Sean to stay. Hand over to news. Silence. Every once in a while, the presenter hits the mother lode when he finds a song that everybody hates. This is not as easy as it sounds, and maybe but a clever way of drawing attention to his many faults, or indeed maybe simply diverting attention away from the imminent departure of Coilus Interruptus. May he rest in peace. Laurie Anderson, no relation, a song called Oh Superman, which I know is a big favourite with the listeners.
There's so many people phoning, complaining about that song.
That's good.
No, it is not. And people are saying you should now. What about it now? You should be giving some of your wages that you've earned today back to someone, because it is now 8 and 15, 16, 8 and 19.
Do you want a
What's that?
calculator?
27. It's 27 minutes since you spoke.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh,
You played two songs back to back before the news.
I thought it seemed right to me.
Then we had the news, and then we had what you just played there and what you played before that, which is taking us up now. So it's 27 minutes since you spoke.
What are you, some kind of time and motion expert?
I just feel as though
Let me
I just
just-
feel it's
no, let me
wrong.
just-
I feel it's wrong.
It's not wrong, because
is
I'll tell you
wrong.
why. Because I work by my instinct. I played that little song before the news, and then I felt as if that other song would be really nice if I played it just right after it. And then, unfortunately, the news came along, and Wendy talked about stuff. And then I said to myself, wouldn't it be nice to kind of age into Oh Superman by Laurie Anderson? And I said to myself, after that, wouldn't it be lovely if that just aged into Stairway to Heaven and
It's
a man
not
singing?
about you.
No, it's about my instinct. It's about how I feel in my water. That's what how it's about. And for instance, a gentleman...
Is Maureen there, Janet? Would you talk to Maureen, please?
Oh, I think I know what this might be about.
Yes.
It's about complaining about my music,
It's
isn't
Maureen.
it? I know, but I could tell by the tone of your voice that you're looking
But
forward
there's
to
so
this.
many people want to complain.
But so what?
What do you want to
It
ask
says here,
me?
I was thinking about that tune, Oh Superman, yesterday. You haven't played it for a long time. You see, serendipity, synchronicity. And a person also said, I better talk to Maureen. Hello, Maureen.
Well, it's near time, Jerry. What is wrong? Have you taken leave of your senses? That music is diabolical. And that thing before you played the last one, it's like something you'd hear the native Indians when they're jumping around their bonfires or whatever it is, these rituals they have.
Are you talking about the 12th, or are you talking about the Plains Indians?
I'm speaking about the native Indians.
The Native Americans
Correct.
running around their bonfires. They don't call them bonfires.
Well, whatever they call them.
Anyway.
It's pathetic. It really is an absolute disgrace
Well,
for
I can't
us
play. I can't.
elderly folk in the morning doing our chores to listen to that.
Well, you see, I can't please everybody. I can
You
follow.
don't please anybody, Jerry, because it's chronic. The only time we ever have a decent show is when himself is on, Mr. Sean. Coyle.
Himself, the reporter.
No, not the reporter. I heard that. Mr. Sean Coyle.
When the reporter is on.
Well, he is fantastic. And you used to be good in your young day, but you're gone completely mad.
Well,
Anyway, I have chores to do, Jerry. Would you please give a bit of consideration to us older folk? Please.
all right then. Okay.
Right.
You've had your say.
I've had my say.
It's important that people have their say because.
But you
after
don't
all,
do a thing about it.
I know. The talk turns to vertigo and predatory birds. Separate topics not normally linkable on your average radio show, but effortlessly acceptable here.
Do you know I still have vertigo?
I know you have. I'm pleased to see it. I like it when you're dizzy. Jerry, I was standing at my window yesterday watching the little birds feeding at the bird table, when all of a sudden, down from the sky, swooped a big grey bird and swooped up a little tit in its claws and flew away over the hedge with it, Jerry.
Yeah.
I have not been well since, and I've had nightmares all night. What am I to do now, Jerry? Well, I'll tell you one of the things you must never do. Never buy the boxed set of Frozen Planet when it comes out.
There's a wee call for Onion 2, whatever that meant. There's a wee call for it. Didn't sound right. There's a call
again.
on 2.
Try it again.
There's a call on 2.
Please play some Alabama 3, Jerry. You'd love them. Exile on Cold Harbour Lane is one of the best albums. A man advising me on the music. He knows this. He can feel a kind of a bond between me and him. And may I apologise to people, the emails aren't working today because Ken has better things to do.
All right.
Ken is under pressure.
He
It's
shouldn't
not
be
that
under
he's
pressure.
better things to do.
He said he had more important things to do. You said that to
One
me.
Ken Doherty.
Yet important.
One Ken Doherty.
What is more important than what's going on in the air at the moment? What is more important than that? What is more important than that?
Ken come in and apologised for not being able to help you. He says,
I don't accept it.
What can I do, he says. They're
He's
dragging me here, there and everywhere.
He's made a decision that something else he's doing is more important than this. That's all, and no apology is acceptable.
Well, there's a call on 2.
Apparently, if your head is cut off, perhaps by an axe, there's enough oxygen left in the brain and it stays conscious for at least 7 seconds. You could cover a good 10 yards in that time. And now, an idiot.
Look, you can imagine the farmer walked down and he'd gone to the field, Jerry.
Yes.
And the animals are jumping on air and they're running away, and he's not sure if they're having sport or maybe there's an animal in hate.
Heat.
So he'll open the gate. He'll open the gate. Hold on. There you are. Open the gate. Ah. He's calling him, you see, Jerry.
Sounds like a peculiar kind of human
Oh,
bark.
No, but you haven't got into it yet. They'll come running.
Sorry.
Oh, they come running. Ah.
That would be the cow. How strange. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.